weren't practicing what became the correct meta. They weren't playing with Yosa, and it took them too long in the tournament to figure it out. Now, something we've seen so far in this tournament, the ERAD gets used quite a bit. So I'm not sure if Scumpy has spent a lot of time with that, but if he takes too long to figure that one out, that could be a problem again.
Well, that is going to be everything from the studio for now. We can send it down to our casters for the next matchup. We've got Chris Puckett and Jack Dunlop.
Thank you, fellas. Man, I love that studio.
Oh, it looks so good.
It's good to have Merc joining Benson on that desk with his handsome man. Guys, we're kicking off a huge matchup here in full play. This is between the teams that finished 4th and 5th back at Vegas, but more importantly, this is the comeback tour for OpTic Gaming in a lot of fans' minds.
Oh, and more important than that, I am currently standing on a box so that I am equal to height than Chris. I am not actually this tall. I wish I was, but people don't see the box that's below my feet. Matt and I are both standing on it, and it makes me feel like a lesser person.
I like you as a
I wish it was true, but no, back to this game. OpTic Gaming, they were just, I believe, scrimming Envy backstage, so they wind up getting up. The practice that they've been working on coming into this event continues here at the venue. What you don't get to see on stream is that these teams have a bunch of practice stations behind the scenes where they are always warming up, getting ready for their matches, and what gets me excited is we've already seen a ton of action today. Studio doing a great job of covering it.
And here we have the rig draft. I think the big thing that'll jump out right away is going to be the overdrive being used by Formal. You're going to see that as well from Royalty, who is kind of the star for Allegiance. FTL jump coming into play from Moch, though, as the Centurion is pulled out by Crim 6.
Yeah, you saw Attach in that first series use the FTL jump just a little bit, but Formal is always been using this overdrive. He knows exactly where to bring it on out. On a map here like Breakout, if he spawns out, he'll wind up pushing towards that new spawn for his team. Lock it down for his squad. Hardpoint will be game number 1. It's our second match of the CWL Atlanta Open presented by the PS4. And Puckett, I am very excited.
You know what? I think OpTic is honestly a little bit nervous, or at least they are 100% prepared for this match, because normally after a 3-0, we ask the teams, are you guys ready to play your match? And they'll say, yeah, they'll just jump up there and we'll keep the tournament moving. OpTic, they made sure they used every minute of practice time before they moved to the main stage. They know how tough this battle is going to be. Atlanta crowd is getting rowdy. It's time to kick off the party as we're going to be opening things up with Karma on your screen.
Karma always going some different route than the rest of his squad this time. He'll be the one putting on the pressure towards Showers. Take a look at your mini-map right now. OpTic Gaming, they're going to be going for the central roof control, but about 30 seconds into this hill, they'll want to actually get the spawn that Allegiance has for cells. Right now, Karma just doing a good job of holding down this wall run lane for his team as OpTic Gaming are out to an early lead.
Yeah, OpTic is all over that hard point, and Karma, well, he's going to get the call. Might as well go flank him, buddy.
Here we go. This is
he's going to try and flip some spawns, and he is going to find a player up in the window. That's going to be taken care of by Formal. Formal finds Royalty as well as Remy answers back for Allegiance, but 3 down for Allegiance in that last fight. OpTic continuing to score, already building about a 30-3 advantage.
Yeah, nearly a perfect start for OpTic Gaming in this one, in full control of exactly where their team is spawning, but right now, some split spawns coming into play, and this could favor Allegiance, as now Formal has a tall order ahead of him. He needs to not only hold this back garage side, but win some key gunfights as Allegiance push towards him. They will win the rotation for the moment on the side of Allegiance, down by about 8 seconds, but Formal is looking to play spoiler towards this back of the map.
And he's going to find his first opponent, going to be challenged from the left, and both players will survive, at least for a moment. Moch is going to be taken down by that grenade, as Scump is going to be pushing from the front. OpTic trying to flood in as they instantly retake control. Allegiance going to have to go through the deadly wall run.
Yeah, this is where you do not want to be if you're an Allegiance player. They are going to get absolutely shredded, as now Crim 6 knows he's got Formal pushed all the way up. OpTic Gaming look to take the rest of this scrap time and continue to build on that lead. It should be about 40 seconds at the end of this hill. Allegiance have decided to just completely give this up, which I do completely agree with. But the question for me remains, can they get the gunfights in rotation? So far, OpTic Gaming have done a better job of that.
Yeah, Sin was able to get one, but not the second. Moch holding it down in the middle. It's going to be the kill on Karma, but Crim answers right back. So even though Allegiance is set up, OpTic Gaming just outgunning them up to this point. They are going to be flooded once again, and OpTic should be able to take control here, Jack.
And this is just Allegiance knowing exactly where they can begin to pressure. They send one player through the middle map to help push those spiral steps, while the other two stay inside the hard point. You've got Mochilla playing right behind Dozer. This is perfectly done by Allegiance. The lead that was 40 seconds, now down to just about 15, and it's going to continue to diminish because, again, look at the minimap. Sinful pushes up through spiral stairs, gets a two-piece, and through all of that, they do not give up the back helipad spawn, which is exactly what they want to have for the next hardpoint at Commissary.
I thought for sure this was OpTic's hill. Instead, you saw two big two-pieces in that last engagement going in for Allegiance. They are going to bring this game back within 5 points after your first 3 hardpoints. We are seeing a very tight game number 1, and we're going to see a new rotation coming in any moment. I do want to take a quick second and give major props to our observer. We have former pro player Brian Saint.
Yeah.
He is the man running the camera, so show some love on Twitter for all the work you'll be putting in this weekend.
Hey, it's a learning process, man. It's much harder than it appears when you're watching at home. We're about to have ourselves a tied game, though, as Allegiance have mounted the comeback, and what was it off of? Good kills on rotation. Here's another example of it now as OpTic Gaming begin the pinch. Royalty with a team kill, but I do believe for the moment the green wall have broken this hard point, and now look at how far out the spawns are coming for Allegiance. Completely across the map, and this is where OpTic Gaming excel.
And when we get a chance, I would love to just hang out with Crim6. Here he is on your screen because he is already 14-9, +5. He's been involved in the hard point as well, but as soon as he gets control, he's one of the guys early on will rotate out and fight for the clutch choke points.
Yeah.
And you're going to see Karma now taking down Remy. That's going to secure OpTic at least another 10. They're going to get every last second on the commissary. The lead built once again. Rotation's going down, and we're going to stay on board with Royalty. Once again, this guy was the star in Vegas, but he was one of the most inconsistent players of the tournament as well.
And you can easily read how OpTic Gaming are playing this hardpoint so far. Formal and Scump are the ones inside the hardpoint, while Karma and Crim6 are the ones playing outside, being the front line of defense, pushing out a little bit further, and relying on Scump and Formal to get that objective done. So far, it is working. Through the first rotation, OpTic Gaming have earned themselves about a 30-second lead. Slaying, for the most part, in favor of OpTic Gaming. You want to see Allegiance pick that up, especially players like Remy, like Sinful, who had some great events back at Vegas that got them that top 4 placing. Right now, though, it's a slow start to this game 1.
And I was looking at the players trying to see if anyone had some score streaks. Jack, when we were watching the other matches over in the studio, it seemed that the games went in huge swings based on some big score streaks coming into play. So far, I've seen about 6 players using the Scarab as their initial score streak. Do you expect these to come into play, or is this just going to be 1, 2, 3 gun kill trade?
No, I mean, Crim6 is close to earning them right now. You'll see the major alert pop up on your screen that he's on a 7th streak, so definitely got to show Crim some love as this game continues to go on, as he's now 21-10. But again, there are the streaks you talked about. What are they used for a lot in Infinite Warfare? Many times it's for zoning, forcing players out of key positions to give your team a better opportunity to break, or if you're in control of the hard point, it's a great way to seal the victory for your team. Do not sleep on Allegiance, though. They're now only down by 20 seconds, and they're still in control of cells, forcing OpTic Gaming to push this wall run.
Grim 22-12, the player to watch from OpTic Gaming. On the other end, Sinful has turned up his game. He now leads the team with 14 kills, but overall, this is just OpTic simply outslaying. It's kind of incredible to see Allegiance still within this just 5 points now. It looks like they could even retake the lead, as you see OpTic is trying to set up early for the helicopter.
And exactly, last time at this cave hardpoint, you saw how much better Allegiance were at pushing towards that middle lane with Sinful flanking these back spiral steps. Now it's OpTic Gaming's turn to go for the full 60. There's Karma, the 2-piece. You hear the crowd get into it a little bit there. And look at how far pushed up Karma is now. He knows if he stays right in this position, the players will still be forced to spawn at that back garage area, and it will entirely favor his team. But now the number advantage, either hard point goes in favor of Allegiance. Here comes their pressure.
He just dropped 2, but Formal's going to answer back with a 2-piece of his own. Moch, he's going to pick up a double as well before Karma wins the final fight. Now, all players will continue to flood in time and time again, but OpTic's winning right now.
I'm wondering if Crim decides to use streaks here if needed. Is this time where he begins to bring them out with only 20 seconds left? I'm not entirely sure. OpTic Gaming still have the spawns they want, so they're not in panic mode quite yet. When Formal starts shooting like that, the guy's now 15-8, 4 dead on Allegiance. They're all the way spawned out. OpTic Gaming will get the scrap time. They'll begin the rotation, and they should now be set up for the next hard point as Formal gets a multi-kill, nearly the 5th as well. He's earning streaks of his own too, Chris.
18-6? Is there 18-8?
18-8.
Plus 10. Not a bad game out of Formal. Last time I looked at his numbers, he was 4-5.
Yep.
So he has been that patient player, but in that last hard point, he single-handedly ran through this Allegiant squad. You look at ALG and Remy, the man from North Dakota, the guy who was runners-up back at AW's COD Champs. He has been a non-factor. He needs to get back in this game and throughout the entire series.
And you know, I talked to some pro players prior to this weekend, and the first thing they brought up is that Remy is struggling so far in Infinite Warfare, and you're seeing it right here. An example of where OpTic Gaming want to use these streaks to force players into awkward positions right there. Royalty gets pinned in a corner. He's not able to watch any lane. OpTic Gaming collapse. They secure the hardpoint control, and now they have themselves a full 1 minute lead as we reset for our third rotation.
Krim taking on 3 challengers, not going to win that fight, but he's got 3 teammates all set up with the final seconds here at the commissary ticking down. It's going to be a battle for the middle, and once again, Krim, your player to watch. He's got the streaks. Does he choose to call them in on the new hardpoint?
I'll have to see. Well, right now, the great thing for OpTic Gaming, they still have this Centurion to use when they get the cells, which is a perfect hardpoint for this payload ability. Krim is just lights out right now. First player to hit 30 kills in this one. No player on Allegiance has even hit 20, just shows how far ahead the slang is. Now the streaks come in. What did I say? They use them to shut the door. It's happening right now. This is the OpTic Gaming that the Green Wall fans wanted to see. 250 to 155. OG up 1-0.
Calm, cool, collected is OpTic Gaming. There's a from 6. He is all business, so let's take a look at your round-ending kill cam as he calls in the Rockets. He's going to finish strong. Krim turning it on, it seemed like in that 3rd, 4th minute, never slowed down, and then once Formal came to life, this is a one-sided affair.
Well, Chris, you made a great point where you said OpTic Gaming, the slang was quite even, especially with Allegiance keeping that game close. But once OpTic got the early rotation towards Cave, they completely pushed out their opponents. It was Karma playing from that spiral staircase that just never even made it possible for Allegiance to try to contest. And at the end of all that, where it was a close game around that 140 to 140 score, it's OpTic Gaming winning 250 to 155.
You look at the other side, no one on Allegiance finishing above 20 kills. Very rough first hardpoint, but if you're an ALG fan, you know this is a team that doesn't rely on hardpoints to win their matches. They're looking to steal an uplink, potentially a game 4 hardpoint, and really relying on their search and destroy. They have an opportunity now to tie up the series if they can beat OpTic in a search.
And this was the #1 critique of this Allegiance squad back in Vegas, was they had the magic in game 5s. They just always seem to take them. Is it, though, something you can rely on? Is that magic in game 5? I'm not entirely sure, because right now you're down 1-0 against OpTic Gaming, and again, this is an OpTic Gaming team that is very well practiced coming into this weekend. So far in hardpoint, they look quite good. Formal was a man there that wound up earning himself some streaks in that one. You know, it's interesting. This OpTic Gaming team, it seems like they've got their motivation back under them, because a lot of people were questioning it. I was one of them at the start of this game. Now, though, they're looking in form after map 1.
OpTic, they were on cruise control in the hard points. Now we go to search. When you look at this ALG squad, first name that comes to mind is Moach for me when it's search and destroy.
Yep.
Is there any other players on Allegiance that you think all the fans out here should be looking out for?
It's Royalty.
Royalty.
Royalty had one of the craziest clips I remember seeing on Scorch Search and Destroy back at the launch of Infinite Warfare. This guy plays on a sensitivity higher than really anybody other in the CWL.
8-8.
Yeah, and he's just flashy with it. He knows exactly how to control his aim from range, and that's a big reason why you see players shy away from a sensitivity that high. Royalty is one of the few that can keep it controlled. If him and Moach can go off and search and destroy, this is where we'll see 1-1 going into Uplink.
And if you talk to a lot of the players in the venue, whether they're on a pro team or even in the open bracket, they'll probably tell you, my sensitivity, I play between 3 and a 5.
Yeah.
So to play on an 8-8, he's basically doubling up the majority of the competitors here.
And what's funny for most people is they actually, from transitioning from last year to now, actually went down about 1 sensitivity on average for everybody. So if you played 4-4 last year, you played 3-3 this year. Doesn't matter to Royalty. He'll still be on 8-8. He'll make it work for himself. Hey, one thing we want to say, though, we hope you're enjoying the coverage of the CWL Atlanta Open. Props to everybody on production. Crazy to see all the improvements being made in the venue, on the stream itself. Loving the studio coverage so far. You were a part of it. Being able to look into those matches, to provide direct updates to everyone watching across the world at this international global event. It's great to see.
And remember, guys, this is a Pool B matchup. We're starting the weekend with 16 teams in pools. We'll be adding 4 more through the open bracket, and 2 will move on from each pool straight into the winners. Everyone else in pools, don't worry. They'll go into the losers bracket, much like OpTic did back in Vegas. But now it's time for rig draft as we get into game number 2. Jack, anything jumping out at you?
Nothing too crazy. The one big thing is Centurion not as impactful in something like Search and Destroy. You can place it down after you plant an objective. The main reason why that is used is the trophy drone. Winds up blocking grenade as you push up. It's mobile. It's absolutely great. Reactive armor, no surprise when it's on Scump. If you remember, last year it was always his specialist. Now this year, again, he's one of the best in the game at using it. When you look at the side of Allegiance, though, Mochilla with FTL jump gets me really excited because this map in Throwback is one where you can use that FTL jump, get through some of those close corridors, catch your opponent off guard, and potentially swing around in your favor.
And of course, keep your eyes on Camo Karma. Always one of my favorite highlights whenever Karma throws on his camo.
He doesn't need camo to be sneaky. Then you give him camo and it's on a whole nother level.
Quick look at the map here on Throwback. We learned a lot about these maps, making some videos.
Yes, of course.
A satellite station with a 50s theme.
Yeah. I love the way Maven read all of them for retaliation. Ravage Geneva in the future. It's like, oh gosh, he's getting real into it. But let's get into game number 2. OpTic Gaming up 1-0, and already I'm seeing something quite interesting on my screen. And Saint knows it as well, driving from behind the scenes. It's Formal with that beautiful sniper rifle.
Let's see if he can get the early pick. It's going to be OpTic Gaming on the attack. Karma going to be your bomb carrier as we are used to. And Formal, he looks away at just the wrong moment. Shots coming in his direction, and that player better not peek. I'll tell you that, Jack.
Oh, well, there's a sniper battle now going on with a player over at Lemon. The flank, though, coming in from Remy. He actually gets the 2-piece to swing the numbers in his team's favor. Tries to challenge the third. Crimsix will stop the bleeding for the moment. So it's a 2v2, 29 seconds left. And again, Karma always finding themselves in these interesting positions. He's somehow pinched towards middle, and I don't know if Allegiance know of it as of yet. Bait and switch right there for OpTic, as this round should go in their favor.
And Sinful is going to fall. OpTic Gaming gets the bomb down right away, and despite a nice 2-piece coming in on the flank, it's ALG losing the final gunfights. Here's a look at Crim6 with the K-bar as he closes it out. That was Sinful, the victim.
Yeah, beautifully done by Karma and Crim6. They take middle map control, and they clear out one side before they refocus their attention towards that bowling area. There's a look at the beautiful stage here in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia World Congress Center. Been enjoying it so far as we're into round number 2. Allegiance now with their take on offense.
And once again, you're going to see that A-bomb site targeted on Throwback. That is the preferred site. Royalty and Moch getting your first 2 kills. Moch hitting Crim6 before any of the ERAD bullets would land. Sinful, though, set up, has been spotted. Is he going to survive? It looks like, at least for now, it's Formal on the other side with a sniper and just a pistol to work with.
Yeah, where you want Formal with the sniper is when it's not in a 1v3 scenario, or 1v4, sorry, is now Scump trying to push on up, does get one, but time is against them. Should be cleaned up here momentarily. There it is, 1-1, and the way you start off that round, you hear Sinful probably call to his teammate, yo, Moch, watch over me with the sniper. As he's about to get engaged, Moch just drops him right there. Beautifully done by Allegiance to strike back.
Now, Jack, that's 2 rounds in a row where we see the sniper immediately target the window.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen every single round? Are both teams going to continue to send a player up in that window?
Absolutely. It's such a powerful position to be able to watch over all of middle map. I think the big thing for me, though, is a lot of these sniper engagements will actually go down from this top bus to Lemon area. Here's an example of it right now. He'll peek towards top window for a second. There's the first kill on the Mochilla. And now Formal knows the second player to challenge will always be near that Lemon side. He'll do that every single round, as now OpTic Gaming look to continue to take these numbers in their favor.
Formal trying to provide some cover fire. Saw legs, but can't land the shots. Karma is dead. Bomb not planted.
Formal just going to keep holding the angle, as now Crim6 is pushed up the map, making it a 2v1. Formal and Crim6 up against Remy. Remy does challenge him first. Now 1v1, and he spots the second player. He has all the information he needs. Beautiful play by Remy to get out with his life.
And I like what Formal's doing here. He's just going to get this bomb down. Remy knows no reason to challenge yet. You don't know if Formal is going to get crazy and chase you down.
Yep.
So wait, scout it out, find your opponent, then look for the safe defuse after getting the kill. And I think Formal was just spotted by Remy.
I'm not entirely sure. Now it's bottom. There it is from Formal. Shows off that reaction time, snaps right onto his opponent. We'll see it again here, as OpTic Gaming will earn themselves a round count lead. Easily cleans that one up. 4 quick bullets.
Poor Remy.
And remember, this is an example where overkill not in play in the CWL this season. So there he has to go down, pick up the K-bar of his teammate, swings around in his favor, lets him use that sniper, but also able to get that secondary weapon.
Here comes the sniper. A new route, though, for Moch.
Love this sight.
Oh, he saw a face, and that player spots the bright light from the sniper rifle. Gonna run away from the flashlight. And you're going to see a much different strategy used here in round number 4. It's the second attack for Allegiance, and they're hoping to slow things down.
Yeah, they need to clear out a lot of areas, though. First, this pocket near this barn side. Second, the silo. And then third, the green market area, which is now their first attempt. Crim6 with first blood. Karma's there watching over as well. Mochilla nearly hits the shot, but Formal's ready with a sniper of his own. Royalty in the 1v4.
I love this Moch versus Formal battle that's going on. I mean, Moch was playing an unfair fight there, but Formal not missing shots. Moch, he's kind of whiffed 3 now that we've seen on stream. Royalty on your screen. He is leading the team at 4-3. Will he be able to clutch the 1v4? It's not looking good with just 30 seconds left on the clock.
No, Karma does get cut down first. The issue is that Allegiance, they still have to plant this objective. Nearly gets a second, but you mentioned that Formal versus Mochilla battle. This is not the first iteration of Call of Duty game where we've seen this. You could think back to years past where that has happened before. So far, it's been, what, 2-1 Formal?
2-1 Formal. I like that score.
Yeah, even though the round count is 3-1 OpTic.
Seems about right.
Yeah, I'm completely making that.
I don't think Moch is killed Formal yet.
That's a maiden fact.
I was going to say, we'll see what happens, though. Crim6 on your screen to open things up. Let's not focus on the snipers. We'll show you the guys getting aggressive. In ALG, they have sniffed this one out. They feel some pressure over at the B site. Unfortunately, no cover as Crim6 slides behind the bush, and he is going to be able to get the first blood. However, Formal now on your screen finds himself in a 1v3 as all of his teammates were slaughtered in the last 5 seconds.
And now remember, because of how this round played on out, he does not have that secondary weapon in the K-bar that he was able to pick up. So he's got to rely on this pistol. Does still have some grenades to work with, but either way, now on
1v3, I'm not using grenades, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, hey, all he's got is a pistol, so you might as well want to use whatever you can. 45 seconds left. Formal still has to plant this bomb.
Formal definitely not the ideal weapon. This should be a 3-2 game.
Now he's got something.
As long as Allegiance doesn't throw it, and after they spot Formal, they're all just going to back up safely. They know where the bomb was down. They're just going to protect B, very confident in their ability to retake A.
Most certainly. 25 seconds left. Formal still inching up. There's at least the first. Tries to challenge this close corner. Doesn't pick the correct side as Allegiance bring this game back within 1 round.
ALG, known for their search to destroy. They've brought it back within a round. Now they'll be on the attack. As you see, it's Sinful picking up your final kill cam.
Even little things like that. You saw him holding the first outside part of the door. Then as his teammate gets challenged and he expects Formal to push up, he holds the deeper angle that Formal wouldn't have been able to check as he flies right on out. It's little things like that that separate these players from those that aren't starting in pool play here this weekend. As now Allegiance will go back to offense. It's where they won their first round of this game. But if you're getting first blooded like that, you're not going to find yourself in a good spot.
And the best part, that was your bomb carry as well. So a huge opening kill from Scump. Karma and Formal also in the feed makes it just Moch alive. And he is going to get cut down, shot through the kidneys. 4-2 OpTic, 2 rounds away from taking a 2-0 lead in our best of 5.
Through the kidneys, you could see where that was hitting.
I did.
I think that's a kidney. I think that's a kidney shot.
Yep. There's one to the left temple, and one shot went through both kidneys, Jack.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for that breakdown of anatomy, only provided by Christopher Puckett as we get into round number 7 with OpTic continuing to control the pace of these games, Chris, just like in the Hardpoint and now in the Search and Destroy.
Bomb in the hands of Karma once again. Double tacticals going out, and now he's going to get this bomb down. And you're going to see Scump falling first, so it's Allegiance with first blood.
Does he use it? No. No camo as of yet. Sinful. Giving the team the number advantage. Karma in a tough gun engagement.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that's not going to work out for you there as Allegiance retake the site with ease. After getting first blooded, they do clean things on out with a good team shot near that train side.
Nice double kill coming in for Sinful. As you see, he will also be awarded the defuse. And it is now ALG back just 1 round once again. Will they be able to win in offense, though? This is where they've been struggling.
Yeah, and what I do want to point out is Sinful started this game 0-3. Now at 5-4. He's began to make his presence felt, which is definitely what you want to see from such a veteran search and destroy player. What can he do, though, on offense? You still have Overdrive ready for Royalty. Not going to use it here, as OpTic Gaming have completely stacked near this A side.
And it was Sinful over at B who peeks a player, spots Crim6, and now is going to rotate back. So I like this decision by ALG. Once again, slow things down. Look for the opening pick.
OpTic Gaming take the bait. They see one player at B. They over-rotate. They send all 4 players near that side, and that completely gives up a free plant. The mind game's working for Allegiance. Scump with his 3rd straight first blood in this game.
They can outsmart us, but can they outshoot us? It's OpTic Gaming and Karma picking up 3 kills. Remy, the last one alive. And Remy has been spotted. OpTic eliminates. They will get the defuse, and now they're on game point.
And now Formal and Karma both have their payloads. You see the smiles there from Scump. As he keeps opening up that middle map, they haven't been able to beat him yet in that area to start off the round. Here's the closeout, and look at the top right. 6 hits, 2 coming from Formal, 1 coming from Scump, 3 from Karma.
That's a team shot.
That exactly is what that is, Chris. As OpTic are now 1 round away from going up 2-0.
Will OpTic be able to seal the deal, or are we going to see another insane comeback like FaZe had against Enigma 6? You see the overdrive pop. Formal's going to get up close and personal here with the K-Bar and immediately drop Sinful. Sin had no idea that was coming.
Beautiful stuff from Formal. Again, commanding middle map on Throwback, so important. The big thing, though, is that they actually cut down the bomb carrier. So OpTic not going to be able to go for that quick plant. And look at how Allegiance are trying to play this one on out. They're getting crafty with the routes they take. Formal will be the lead blocker with this Scarab towards that back lemon side. As now, look, he's worried about a flank coming in, and he couldn't be more right on this call.
He doesn't know where it's coming from, though, so he's just going to position himself in a safe spot, look towards middle as his teammates will deal with the first attacker. Scump dropping Moach. Now it's Formal's time. Did he see Royalty duck out to the left? It looks like Royalty has juked him, and now Royalty could shoot him in the back. It doesn't matter. The team shot is there. 6-3 OpTic Gaming with total control. It was pretty close through your first 5 rounds, and then OpTic, once again, just like in the Hardpoint, they finished strong.
Yeah, they don't look back after they won to get themselves that round lead. As once again, what was the story on that map? Was OpTic Gaming commanding middle map control, being able to get towards that top window. If you think, the 1 round for Allegiance, where they were able to really overwhelm OpTic Gaming with the pressure near middle, was when Moach went to his top window with the sniper, cleared it for his teammate in Sinful, and then their submachine gun player just ran rampant right up the map. For the most part, though, OpTic Gaming now up 2-0, and if you're an Allegiance fan going into an uplink, you're not in a good spot at all.
Yeah, it's not looking good, and I just peeked at my notes. I was looking at all of ALG's wins. They had one 3-0 win over Enigma 6 in bracket play back at Vegas, but most of their series, they went to Game 5s. But in those Game 5s, well, they had at least won a game, either Game 1 or Game 2. This is looking tough because this is not a respawn team. This is an S&D team. You just lost your best game mode. Now you have to play OpTic and Uplink and a second Hardpoint.
Well, guys, we are now with OpTic Gaming up 2-0. We're going to take a quick break, and we come back Uplink on Frost.
Alan, are you ready for a game 3?
Oh, yeah.
I like it already. We got a full crowd here on a Friday. A lot of the players out in the open bracket will be filling those seats later on this evening. But so far, all kinds of intense action. This match, though, to be honest, Jack, it's a little bit boring.
Yeah, you were saying, Chris, how you wanted to build energy as the series goes on. Maybe we get to a game 4, game 5 right now. This one, I feel like it's going to end right here. It will be Frost Uplink, a map where it's all about controlling that inside robo sub-bay lane. You can make some crafty plays towards the outer clip in towards research, but for the most part, you win those close range engagements. You can absolutely see an ERAD presence on this map. As we'll take a look at our redraft, no, not really any changes here. The big one, no overdrive being used by Formal. That will go over to Crim6 for Uplink, one of the little switches that OpTic Gaming wind up doing in the different game modes.
I like it, yeah. Put that drone in Crim's hands, let him go in for the dunk while Formal just clears the way.
Yep.
Either as a lead blocker or the guy who shoots over your shoulder perfectly. We've seen it time and time again. Over on the Allegiance side, though, Royalty needs to come back to life. He had a pretty decent start to their first hardpoint, then slowed down. Remy was a non-factor in game 1. He needs to come to play. They need to get the first score in this one. Turn this momentum around.
Yeah.
You can't think about this throwback anymore. We're on Frost now. Focus up. This is where the comeback starts.
Think of our first series where FaZe got that huge lead early on, and then Enigma 6 were fighting from the back foot for the rest of the game. Allegiance right now in this series, they've been letting OpTic Gaming set the tone. They've been giving OpTic Gaming the lead, and then for the most part, they're having to try to find a way to claw back into things. Well, guess what? OpTic Gaming are not a team that let that happen easily. Chris, as you're saying, they need to set the tone, and I couldn't agree more.
Jack, you mentioned the ERAD. You watched everything in London. The European team's not afraid to explore new weapons, try out new things. Are there any SMGs coming into play, in your opinion, here?
You could absolutely see it, but right now I haven't spotted anything in this warm-up to this map as we swap through the players. Off the break, we are watching Allegiance. This could be the final map of this series. Let's see if they can claw back into things, and what do we see in the kill feed for the first kill? It's Karma with the ERAD.
Submachine guns are not dead. They are back in the new meta after the OSA was removed. We have seen a bit of diversity so far. PD dropping 41 kills with an ERAD is the score to beat, and already Karma's going to open up with 3, almost a 4th kill in your first 30 seconds.
And you're seeing the strengths of the submachine gun after the recent buffs. This is the exact lane I talked about for OpTic that they're going to want to push. There's the first score for OG as they're now up 1-0. And as you said, Chris, this is not the start you wanted to see for Allegiance.
And the worst part here, if you're Allegiance, is not only did OpTic just score on you, Formal picked up a double and was looking for a third. The drone back in OpTic's hands, but now that Formal is out, they can't move it. As I say that, Scump's like, I'll just kill the other 3. We're fine, move it up right behind me. I'll be your lead blocker. He's gonna be pushing forward, takes out Remy, looking for more. The score comes in. It's just a 1-pointer though, so still manageable for Allegiance. They have to get control of the map though. So far, OpTic's running all over them.
Yeah, you can see Simple was trying to do that. He was just trying to get himself to a lane that he knew would be clear to potentially get some positioning. So far, it looks like it's working out for the moment. Crim6 now, though, with the submachine gun. Sinful's last alive. He gets wiped out. OG commanding the map. They'll go for another throw, now 3-0. This time, though, a little bit different from the rest. You've got Karma pushed all the way up into Allegiance's base. Look at the minimap. Allegiance, all the kills they're getting are in their own spawn, which is just not a recipe for success in a game mode like Uplink.
That's not how you score.
No, it's not.
Gotta get the kills kind of in the sub bay, then you're gonna want to push them outside a little bit, and then in OpTic space eventually. For now, though, it looks like the kills will be traded for the first time. The drone is in the hands of Allegiance. And now they have an opportunity for a dunk. A single dunk here makes this a 1-point game. Royalty with a 3. Karma takes them out, but not in time to stop the score. It is now 1-3. OpTic still in control.
Beautiful stuff from Royalty. That's an example of where typically you want to play for a second wave of kills before you go for that dunk, or you could just have one man do it all for your team, as that will give Allegiance an opportunity to get a point on the board. But what have we seen from OG so far this entire game? Once they get a couple kills inside Robo Bay, they grab the drone, move it towards that area of the map, This time around, though, might have been a little bit too overzealous, as Allegiance already had a pressure there, and now OpTic Gaming are having to try to defend from their base. It does look like they will do it for the moment.
And I have to give credit to Royalty. He is the only reason this is not a 5-1 game. 3 of his teammates were killed. He picked up 2 kills on the flank, stopped OpTic from moving up that objective. So big play keeps this one tight. We're still in the first half. 2 minutes still to go, and that is going to be 4 kills. Unfortunately, one of them was on Scump, but that leaves just 1 defender. Everyone coming off spawn, not in time. Dunk goes in, 5-1 game.
And you saw that's the ERAD now from range. That extra aim assist that comes into play, it was a buff that just came in from Infinity Ward. Great stuff from them to now bring that submachine gun back into the meta. Absolutely has a use, but it's more situational, which I really do like. Right now in the hands of Karma and Crimsix, it is absolutely shredding.
Royalty looked at that drone, immediately looked away. He's going to go for the kills here. Sin looks for the spawn trap, not going to happen. 2 players escape to the right. Karma peeks back out, takes out Sin. Meanwhile, though, Remy inside, causing some problems. Takes out Crim, but it's Formal. Gonna stop the progression.
Yeah.
No moves on the objective here for Allegiance. It looks like they're getting half of the setups they're hoping to lock in.
Well, exactly. They want to get towards that Robo Bay, but the issue is that they need to get 1 more wave of kills to force OpTic to spawn out towards that back blue area near that cliff. So far, they haven't, and OpTic Gaming, one of the best teams in the game at obviously team shotting and holding off their base and keeping the score low for the enemy team, and you've seen that so far through this entire game. Here, Karma trying to get crafty towards this outer lane. Royalty does spot it, as it will remain a 4-point game.
Royalty needs help. Right now, you got Moch and Remy with the same amount of kills combined. In fact, Royalty now has more kills than Moch and Remy combined. If one of those players starts to heat up, this is a closer game. If neither players do anything, well, this is going to be about 15-1 in favor of OpTic Gaming.
So right now, OpTic should show Allegiance how you have to play this side. They push up the drone. They're leaving it on the ground for right now. They're waiting to see if they can get engagement wins near this crate side inside Robo. Now they get 3. There's 1 final player they're searching for. He's now been spotted, and now OpTic Gaming. Oh, but they never touched the drone. They didn't touch it, so it auto resets. Tough there for the green wall, but either way, they'll go into the half of the lead.
I was going to say, for Allegiance to do anything, they have to get past Formal, and he has been a brick wall at the top of the map. Everyone focused through the sub bay, where you have 3 players waiting for you. Great start here for OpTic. They're up 2 games. They now lead by 4 entering the half.
You worry about OpTic Gaming having slow starts on Friday. Right now, that is not the case. They're 5 minutes away from 3-0ing their first series of the CWL Atlanta Open. This is, you talk about how Royalty needs help. Right now, they have been losing control of that close sub-bay area, of that Robo side. If they want any chance inside 2, this needs to be their home. They're sending Sinful here now, as he's going to look to clear this lane early on.
These opening gunfights going to be so key. Player number 4, that's Remy at the top of your mini-map, is going to be fighting against Karma. He wins the 2-piece fight there as Royalty helps him out. And now this is going to be the opening ALG needed. They have control of the middle of the map. Can they keep it?
But look at on your flank, it's Formal who pushed through that open lane again. Sinful gave it up, so that gives Formal the opportunity to now make a play towards middle. And just like that, Allegiance, where you thought they would get the drone into that inside area, it's now Formal in middle map just having a field day, gets a 3-piece there, he's on a 7 streak, and now Allegiance are just fighting from the back foot again.
Formal's working on those streaks as well, already has earned 2, not going to be able to secure his barrage. But I don't think streaks are really going to be needed so far for OpTic Gaming. Crim6, Scump continuing to add to the scoreboard. Karma, he slowed down a little bit with the ERAD, but keep your eyes on him. He's the one applying the most pressure.
Yeah, now 21-14, about 1 more engagement win off of that active camo. One thing I do want to point out, Mochilla near double negative, Remy near double negative. Remy was basically double negative for that hardpoint as well, and here's OpTic Gaming getting that second wave of kills that I talked about. Look at the spawns being forced out by Allegiance towards the top half of your minimap. That is a dunk for OpTic Gaming, something Allegiance couldn't do for the entire 5 minutes of side 1. Just showing that they're just the better team right now.
And Scump is not going to be tricked there by Remy. Remy trying to flank, Scump hunts him down, finishes the kill, and he is just staying in their base, forcing these spawns out. Moch in the kill feed, showing up. Royalty there as well. ALG, they have a push, but like you said, they got to cycle out kills, and Scump is going for the backstab. Picks up 2, looking for the drone carrier now.
I'm surprised they're not ready for that. They should know in communication that they're looking for Scump, who is in their base. No one turns around to watch that, so instead of what absolutely could have been a dunk for their team, it will only result in a 1. Still a 3-possession game at the moment, 3 minutes remaining, and you've got Camo ready to go for Karma. If OpTic can get 2 more kills here, this should be a dub.
I feel like OpTic doesn't use their payloads and they don't use their score streaks. They're like, we will save these for the worst case scenario.
Yeah, they just use them at the time that it's absolutely necessary.
Slowing things down is OpTic. They got the 4-man defense set up after losing the last round of gunfights. Royalty's going to pick up 2. The grenade slowing things down as Crim6 and Formal hold strong. No score coming in. Moch, last man standing, going to get picked off. And now it's OpTic on the offense. You have 2 lead blockers. That's going to be Scump working with Karma on the far right.
Even right there, 2 players for OpTic Gaming spawned up. They didn't rotate back to try to help Crim6. Crim said, guys, I've got this. Go take middle map control. They go flying on up. And what does Crim do? He wins the gunfight he needs to, stopping another score for Allegiance. Now down to just 2 minutes left, and it still remains a 5-point lead for OG.
Moch outgunned again by Scump. Formal and Karma in the feed. They have taken control of the center, and it looks like Sin is going to be fighting for his life of sub. You've got 1:50 left, though. ALG, they can definitely mount the comeback here, Jack. That's just 3 dunks.
Absolutely still possible. On a map like Frost, you can rally this drone very quickly. The issue is a situation right like that. Not only does OpTic Gaming clear out their base, but they wipe all 4 players dead at Allegiance. So any map positioning they had is gone. So what do OpTic do? They drop the drone near middle. They go and look for slaying before they go for a score. Now, as they're beginning to get kills, you'll see them grab this drone yet again. They're moving it forward inch by inch. And that is just the pressure you want to put on as a team. Once they have peace of mind that they can move forward, that's when they focus towards the objective. A botched 1-point throw there, but at this point in the game, this one is basically done.
And can I just point out that Royalty is the best player statistically in the server right now? 31 kills while his teammates are doing nothing. He is trying to backpack so hard right now. But Moch and Remy, they add up for less. Once again, it stays true from the first half to the second half. Neither of those players showed up in this series at all. It's now just 45 seconds away from an OpTic Gaming victory. You look at the numbers, Jack, 28 kills coming in from Karma. Formal, great defense, solid offense as well with 27. And Crim and Scump, they've just kind of been playing that fill-in role.
Chris, 3 players on Allegiance in Sinful, Mochilla, and Remy combined for a -27 performance at this point. You cannot have that happen versus a team like OpTic Gaming. This one is done.
Here come the score streaks. Formal calling them in. Crim getting it done with the K-bar. They know this one is done. OpTic Gaming off to a terrible start in Vegas when it came to the groups. They are opening things up 1-0 as they sweep ALG on our main stage.
What a performance there for OpTic Gaming. They'll start off their pools, as you mentioned, 1-0, this Group B matchup. Looking quite solid there, so 2 3-0s on the main stage to start the CWL Atlanta Open. You see FaZe do it against E6, and now OpTic versus Allegiance. And Allegiance, they were very confident in themselves after that top 4 placing, but a lot of people were wondering, can they match it? That is not the start they wanted.
It's been a brutal start for ALG, but I won't be surprised if these guys totally bounce back. OpTic Gaming, probably their toughest competition. Not saying that Splice is going to be much easier, but you look at OpTic, this is definitely the more intimidating squad.
Yeah.